44. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Rupa Jaya Jaya Ram. Ayodhyavasi Shri Ramachandra Ananda Jaya Jaya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Ram Ram Ram.
Krishna Priya. Krishna Priya is leaving us tomorrow. Page 17. Yamuna Tira Vihari Vrindavana Sanchari
Yamuna Tira Vihari Vrindavana Sanchari
Govardhana Giridhari Gopala Krishna Murari Yamuna Tira Vihari Vrindavana Sanchari Govardhana Giridhari Gopala Krishna Murari Dasharatha Nandana Ram Ram Dashamukha Mardana Ram Ram Pashupati Ranjana Ram Ram Papa Vimochana Ram Ram Pashupati Ranjana Ram Ram Papa Vimochana Ram Ram Manimaya Bhushana Ram Ram Manjula Bhashana Ram Ram Janajaya Bhishana Ram Ram Raghukula Bhushana Ram Ram Ranajaya Bhishana Ram Ram Raghukula Bhushana Ram Ram यमुनातीरविहारी वृन्दावनसञ्चारी गोवर्धनगिरिधारी गोपालकृष्णमुरारी दशरथनन्दन राम राम दशमुखमर्दन राम राम पशुपतिरञ्जन राम राम पापविमोचन राम राम मणिमयभूषण राम राम मञ्जुलभाषण राम राम रणजय भीषण राम राम रघुकुलभूषण राम राम यमुनातीरविहारी वृन्दावनसञ्चारी गोवर्धनगिरिधारी गोपालकृष्णमुरारी दशरथनन्दन राम राम दशमुखमर्दन राम राम पशुपतिरञ्जन राम राम पापविमोचन राम राम मणिमयभूषण राम राम मञ्जुलभाषण राम राम रणजय भीषण राम राम रघुकुलभूषण राम राम यमुनातीरविहारी वृन्दावनसञ्चारी गोवर्धनगिरिधारी गोपालकृष्णमुरारी दशरथनन्दन राम राम दशमुखमर्दन राम राम पशुपतिरञ्जन राम राम पापविमोचन राम राम मणिमयभूषण राम राम मञ्जुलभाषण राम राम रणजय भीषण राम राम रघुकुलभूषण राम राम यमुनातीरविहारी वृन्दावनसञ्चारी
Om. 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Om Bolo Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki. Om Namah Shivaya. So tonight we conclude the topic of foundation of Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and we already had two satsangs on this subject, and so we have few people who were not with us. So we were sharing with this from these beautiful books. One is Meditation and Mantras, which has all the Patanjali Yoga Sutras translated by Swami Vishnu Devananda with his beautiful commentary. And then Swami Shivanandaji's book Raja Yoga, again with Swamiji's commentary. And Shankara on Yoga Sutras, which has the commentary of Vyasa and Adi Shankaracharya. So we touched upon very special sutras in first chapter, which speak about obstacles on the spiritual path. And so, and these are very unique verses, as they prepare the yogi for many downfalls, for many obstacles, many challenges on the path. And it is said that even reading them, even recognizing them, can greatly uplift us and prepare us for our own challenges on the path. As I think almost everyone who really takes the practices seriously is going to face one of them. So we mentioned, Patanjali mentioned 9 obstacles, which were disease of the body, laziness, doubts, attraction to sensual objects, and non-ability to withdraw the energy, non-ability to focus the mind, and then even if we focus the mind, the non-ability to continue with this steadiness of the concentration. And then the next verse, 31 from chapter 1, was sharing the outcome of these obstacles. So those 9 obstacles lead to very frustrating symptoms. And so Patanjali shared the symptoms, which were mental dis-ease and depression and physical agitation of the body and irregularity of the breath. So all these obstacles and all these symptoms, Patanjali said, can be overcome by different types of meditation. And so from verse 32, actually in verse 32, he says that by the different types of meditation, those obstacles and their symptoms can be overcome. And then through, I believe, something like 10 verses, he shares different types of meditation. So we shared one meditation yesterday, which was extremely inspiring, and I would like to just read it again and read some commentary from Swami Shivananda, and then I share with you another meditation. So this was verse 33, and the translation is, the mind is made clear by meditation on friendliness towards the happy. So these are 4 meditations in one. Friendliness towards the happy, compassion for the suffering, goodwill towards the virtuous, and disinterest in the sinful. And we shared yesterday that when we go deeply into in the commentaries, we see that the commentators share with us that mind which is filled with negativity, mind which is filled with negative emotions like jealousy, hatred, and competitiveness, etc., cannot really attain samadhi, cannot really attain deep concentration and prolonged meditation. So to eradicate those different negative habits, we need to purify the mind. But how is it purified? So this verse, this meditation, which is actually 4 meditations, is a great boon, the commentators say, to really purify our minds and make the mind very pure and steady. And so Vyasa said, when it is clear, he attains steadiness and one-pointedness. So after we practice these 4, the mind becomes very pure and steady and capable of really holding meditation. So I would like to share the commentary from Swami Shivanandaji. Swami Shivananda, I think I shared with you, he does something really amazing and very not traditional. He writes the sutras in different order. So they're not like 1, 2, 3. You have to go to the very end and seek in which page will be Sutra 32. So quite beautiful. And Swamiji puts them in different chapters. So he says, the best and easy way of keeping the mind in a state of equanimity or evenness, which is conducive to the attainment of samadhi, is described here. So Swamiji is agreeing very much with Patanjali that these 4 meditations will really make the mind very steady. Maitri and Karuna will eradicate hatred. So we shared yesterday that usually when we see someone very happy, to the very worldly mind, this can bring a lot of jealousy or hatred towards the person. Like, I'm miserable and I see someone else who is extremely happy or extremely successful. And so to overcome those, Swamiji said, it's very, very powerful to cultivate this friendliness, happiness, gladness. Mudita will remove jealousy. Mercy softens the hard heart and removes the cruel, harsh nature. So one of the meditations, if you remember, in Vyasa it's written more beautifully. He said compassion towards the suffering. So Swamiji says this will really soften the heart, which is usually like stone hard heart. By this practice, anger, abhimana, hatred, egoism, envy of various sorts will vanish. Rajas and tamas will be removed. The mind will be filled with sattva. The fickleness of the mind will disappear. Ekagrata, or one-pointedness of the mind, will come in. The mind become pure. Samadhi cannot come in a mind that is filled with hatred, jealousy, and anger. By the method of Pratipaksha Bhavana, any good virtue can be developed. So he shares one of the verses in Patanjali Yoga Sutra itself, where Patanjali shows that any negative thought, any negative emotion will bring more and more suffering. So, for example, anger, cultivating anger will bring the very same seed towards us, but redoubled. We know that in the science of thoughts, it's very beautiful. Swamiji often mentions that each negative thought is cursed 4 times, and each positive thought is blessed 4 times. And why is that? Because when we think negative thoughts like anger, the first curse, it hurts us. So before, it hurts someone else, Swami Shivananda often says, the fire that you ignite in order to burn someone, first of all, burns yourself. So this fire of anger, this negative emotion which is inside of us really hurts us, hurts our astral body. Then the second curse, Swamiji says, this negative thought hurts the person about whom you are thinking. So most of us, we live only in the very physical world, but the yogis are very much aware of the mental, energetical world. And the thoughts are actually creatures that live in our astral body. And there are many books which describe that. One of them is called Thought Forms by Annie Besant. And she was a great yogini who could see thoughts in the astral body. And she wrote this book sharing how different thoughts look like. And so you see that Swami Shivananda also writes about that. Each thought has a color, has a shape, has a weight. Right? Sometimes we say, oh, this is a very heavy thought. So thought is like a creature living in our astral body, and it can really be very heavy or light. And it even has a smell, right? Like sometimes we say something stinks here, though there is no smell, but we can feel that the thoughts are not pure. So the second curse of the negative thinking is that it actually hurts the other person. So if we are angry at someone, these thoughts of anger actually go, and Anibi-san shows it as arrows, like red arrows that actually hurt the astral body of another person. So sometimes the person doesn't even have to tell you anything, but you actually feel. If you are sensitive enough, you can feel the energy, especially anger or any other very negative emotion, just piercing your astral body. Then Swamiji says the third reason why a negative thought is cursed is that it pollutes, he says, the atmosphere, the mental atmosphere. So he explains that all of us are bathing in an ocean of thoughts. We think as if the thoughts are in our own small mind, but he says, no, you are constantly bathing in this ocean. And so if someone is angry there or depressed there, immediately it affects you also. So we're all bathing in these thoughts, and our vibration determines what thoughts we're going to identify with. So some we reject by our vibration and some we attract. So of course, the higher our vibration is, the higher the tendencies we're going to attract to our own mind. So at the same place, there can be a very high vibrations of prayers of sages and saints and yogis, and in the same place there can be a very base vibrations of very low nature, beastly and animalistic nature. So what determines which kind of thought are we going to attract to our own mind is our own vibration, our own tendency. And that's why all the yogic practices like pranayama, like asanas, like chanting, to raise our vibrations, so the thoughts we're going to attract to our own minds are going to be much higher vibration. And so Swamiji says, negative thought is cursed 4 times. 1, it hurts you. 2nd, it hurts the person about whom you are thinking. 3rd, it pollutes the mental atmosphere. You're actually hurting other people. And 4th, it's going to come back to you redoubled. So he says in the science of thought, it's never like you sow a seed and you reap a seed. And we see it in nature. When you are sowing a seed of an apple, you're going to receive a tree of apples, plenty apples, year after year after year. So many apples are going to be received just after one seed. So he says with the thoughts, it's quite the same. You are sowing one thought and you are reaping many, many, many of the same nature. So that's why a negative thinking would be like a curse, because it has so much harm. And the same with the good thought. He says a good thought benefits you, because when we think positively, we feel good with ourselves. Then it benefits those about whom you are thinking those thoughts. Then it purifies the mental atmosphere, and we can feel it when we enter a place like this ashram, very holy atmosphere. We enter and immediately we feel a shift in our thought waves, because so many yogis, so many saints came here and taught these very, very strong positive thoughts, mantras, right? So much practice have been done here. So immediately our mind can sense this vibration. So it purifies the mental atmosphere, and then it comes back to us in redoubled force. So one good thought comes as Swamiji many times says, as a bouquet of thoughts. So you gave one flower, you're going to receive a whole bouquet of flowers back. So so Patanjali is sharing in one of the sutras that negative thinking must be stopped by the yogi who understands how this law of karma works. And how do you do it? The method he gives is pratipaksha bhavana, which means thinking the opposite or creating the opposite atmosphere, like allowing the mind to dwell on the opposite. So if there is lack of confidence, then we bring the idea of confidence, of courage, of self-confidence into the mind, right? And so by cultivating a strong tendency of courage and self-confidence, this weakness or self-confidence is being overcome. All right, so with the time we have left, I would like to share with you the other meditation, which is so beautiful. So I'll start with Swami Vishnu Devananda. And so remember, these are all meditations that Patanjali gives to overcome the 9 obstacles and their symptoms. So this is Sutra 37. He says, or by fixing the mind on the one who has transcended human passions and attachments. So if you remember, among all the obstacles to samadhi were mainly those of attachment, of attraction to sensual objects, and not ability to withdraw the energy or to steadify the mind or to keep the mind steady. And of course, all these are because of different passions and attachments. And so here Patanjali very curiously shares that this can be overcome even if we don't have the capacity to overcome the attachments and the different attractions of the mind. What can be done is meditation on someone who did. Isn't that beautiful? So just by thinking and meditating and absorbing our mind in the presence of this teacher, of this person, our own mind gets purified. And this is a beautiful law that we study many times in the science of positive thinking also, where Swamiji says that the mind takes the shape of any object that we think about. So if I'm saying now mango, or pizza, immediately a thought of pizza comes into the mind. Which kind of pizza, how it looks like. I spoke to Swami Paramanandaji today, and they just finished today the TTC in Israel, and he was sharing that they have pizza for the feast. And I saw how my mind immediately starts imagining, oh, what kind of pizza do they have? So immediately the mind takes the shape, And so Swami Shivananda says, whatever you think about, the mind takes its shape and it goes into your subconscious mind. So, for example, if we're gossiping about someone, if we're talking negatively about someone, criticizing, being judgmental, what happens? The very same qualities that we're criticizing are going to our subconscious mind. And so it's so almost funny that these things that we are so much against, they are actually sinking into our own minds. But this very same quality of the mind to take the shape of any object can be used in such a wonderful way. And the way here is to meditate and constantly think and absorb the mind with a thought about a sage or a yogi or a teacher who already has this capacity of controlling the mind, who already has purified his thoughts. So this thinking about this person purifies our own minds as it shows the mind that this can be actually achieved. There is kind of a funny story that our teacher shares in one of the courses of positive thinking. It's funny. I want to share it with you. So he shares about a religious person and a prostitute, and they live a house one in front of the other. And so the religious person is standing with the Bible and just praying and reading, the Bible. And then he looks in the window and he sees the prostitute in the opposite house. And he's like, what is she doing? She's wasting her life. What kind of karma is she going to reap, doing all those kind of things? And so it goes day after day after day. And one day he dies. And the story goes that when he dies, he reaches the heaven. And in heaven, there is kind of a reception, and everyone sits, people who died at the very same day, and they sit, and then a name of each person is announced, and then it is being said if he's going to the heaven or to the hell. And so he's sitting and he's waiting for his own name to be called. And suddenly he sees that this woman is sitting right there. So probably she died at the very same day. And suddenly her name is being called, and they say heaven. And he's so shocked because he knows exactly what this lady did all her life. And so he's very puzzled, but you never know. So then his name is being called, and it is said hell. And he cannot understand. And so before going anywhere, he just knocks on the reception door. And he says, I think you have a mistake here, because by chance, I know this lady was in front of me. And, I really know what she did all her life. So I think you have kind of a mistake here. And they say, well, we'll definitely check the files, so wait for a moment. And then after checking, they tell him, it's very curious, because all your life you were reading the Bible and you were such a religious person, but actually all your thoughts went to this lady. So all the time you were just thinking about her and everything she does. But she was living a house in front of you, and doesn't matter what she was doing physically, her constant look was at you. She was constantly looking at you and thinking how holy you are, and how you're constantly in union with the divine, and how you constantly pray and your thoughts are so holy. So she just purified herself by these thoughts, and she reached the heaven. So it's kind of a small story which really shows us how our thoughts can really determine where the mind will go. So in this meditation that Patanjali shares in verse 37, he says, or by fixing the mind on one who has transcended human passions and attachments. And Swami Vishnu writes a commentary. Another highly regarded object of meditation is a saint or a sage who has attained liberation. A picture of an inspiring soul such as Swami Shivananda, Buddha, or Jesus may be kept on the altar or other place of meditation. He may be focused on either visually or mentally. And so I would like to share also the commentary of Swami Shivananda and Vyasa. So Swami Shivananda says, meditate on the pure mind or heart of Mahatmas or great persons. So he says you can meditate on the heart or the mind. And as I shared with you, I was taking this course of Raja Yoga with our teacher, Swami Swarupanandaji, and also two Buddhist monks. And in Tibetan Buddhism, it's very common to meditate on your teacher. And so in their practice, they have many, many different visualizations where you close your eyes and you just visualize your teacher in your heart, or you visualize yourself in the heart of the teacher. So many, many combinations of that. But really the idea is many Buddhist parts, they don't believe in God. So for them, the guru, the teacher, is the God. And so many of their meditations really deal with this great devotion and the heart of the guru, the heart of the realized person. So Swami Shivanandaji says, the absorption of the mind in another mind ever pure, steady and blissful will certainly cause corresponding effect and lead to samadhi. So he's assuring us that if we concentrate on a very pure, steady mind, which is free from attachments and attractions, our own mind will become purified and steady. All right? This is from Vyasa. He from whose thinking all passion has gone is free from passion, namely dispassionate. It is well known what dispassion is. There must be freedom from desire, even in the case of naturally passionate men, in the presence of object of desire, for instance, women or possessions. So first of all, Vyasa, here Adi Shankaracharya, he's explaining what does it mean, a dispassionate person. And he says, this is someone who, even when the object of desire is in his presence, and of course for men, women, for women, men, or any attraction that we're having, so even in this presence, the mind is kept calm. Let him practice with this idea in mind. So when we meditate on this saint, we see how he's completely dispassionate. Thus colored by meditation, this is Vyasa, thus colored by meditation on a mind free from passion, the mind of the yogin attains steadiness. So he describes it beautifully, colored, right? So we are coloring the mind with the meditation on a person whose mind is completely pure. And so the last thing I would like to share is something very short, and this is from meditation and mantras. And this is actually in the first chapter when Patanjali speaks about the different samadhis. And Swami Vishnu describes it very beautifully, how to concentrate on the teacher. So there are a few stages, and I would like just to describe it because it's so beautifully how this it's like a mental puja, like a mental worship, and it can become subtler and subtler. So he says, when one offers flowers to a statue of a guru, the devotee is offering one gross element to the other. There is awareness of both, a concrete physical entity, but neither is important. What matters is the concentration of the mind, which is fixed on external object. Whether one worship a living guru or a statue makes no difference. Both are external and secondary to the devotional state of mind, which remains the same. So in the first type, you are practicing this devotion to the teacher, and let's say you're offering a flower, right? So it's like external object. Then meditation on the guru internally, seeing him not in time and space, but in oneself, takes more concentration. If one puts him in the heart and mentally offers a flower, it is nivitarka. Neither the body nor an outside object is brought into play. The mind alone acts in devotion with the mental offering of a flower. So he shows how this meditation can become deeper and deeper. First of all, it's the mind going outside to external object. Then when you see the object inside of your own heart, then it's the mind with the mind itself. In the last stage, the mind itself is still the object of meditation, which deepens until only the awareness of the individual in his most purified form, the unqualified ego, remains. Sorry, I didn't read the one stage before, which is the flower is forgotten, association with the guru is as God. So you don't anymore see any separation. He is not seen as a separate from the meditator. The previous apparent separation is now recognized as being a product of the mind. When the idea of separation is withdrawn and the thought wave stilled, the mental and emotional sheet is being transcended. The meditator experiences the supremely blissful awareness that the divinity worshipped is no different from himself. So I felt like it's the continuation of this meditation that Patanjali offered to meditate on a saint or a sage or a yogi who has no attachment. So we see 3 different ways, right? As if he or she is outside of us and then inside of us, and then there is no separation at all. We become one. Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Om Bolo Satguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. So we'll go through the schedule for tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6, we're going to meet here in Shivananda Hall, and Swami Shambhudevananda will start a new program, and this is the Yoga of Meditation, teaching from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Then at 8, we're going to have a yoga class on the Bay platform, 9:50 the brunch, 11 o'clock ashram welcome and history tour. Then tomorrow, 1:30, Ksenia ji? So 1:30 there will be a very special workshop. Myself and Ksenia will be also giving a workshop on chanting and work with the voice. So Ksenia ji comes with a lot of knowledge about singing, and if anyone would like to work on your voice while you chant, there will be many tools given tomorrow. Then at 4, we're going to have another yoga class on the Bay platform, 5:50 dinner, 7 o'clock Gita Parayana, and 8, Swami Shambhudevananda will continue the topic of yoga, of meditation, teaching from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So now we conclude with the final prayers and the Arati, page 97. And would like to dedicate it to Krishna Priyaji for her safe travels tomorrow. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Makashe Dukhabhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Universal Prayer by Swami Shivananda, page 99. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto Thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Satchit Ananda. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Thou art the invalor of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptation, to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Om Bolo Satguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Please stand up for Arati, page 118.
Jai Jarati Vinna Vinayaka Vinna Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jai Jarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jai Jarati Venugopala Venugopala Venulola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jai Jarati Venkataramana Venkataramana Sangataharana Sitarama Radheshyama Jai Jarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Shankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jai Jarati Rajarajeshwari Rajarajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Ati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumantaha Jai Jarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jai Jarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shanishwaraya Shanishwaraya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shankaracharya Shankaracharya Advaita Gurave Jai Jarati Sangurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jai Jarati Vishnudevananda 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 Jai Jarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shri Rama Priyaye Jai Jarati Ayyappa Swamiye Ayyappa Swamiye Dharma Shastave Rati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jai Jarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nana Gurave Samastaravyo Namaha Jai Jarati Venugopala Om Natatra Suryobhati Nachandatarakam Nema Vidyota Banti Katoya Magnihi Tam Eva Bantamanabhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Saravindam Vibhati Om Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Namastabhyam Namo Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinan Tvameva Vasarva Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarava Buddhyatmanava Prakritye Swabhavan Karomi Yadiyat Sakalam Parasmahi Narayanaiti Samarpayami Sarva Dharmam Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham tva sarva papibhyo mokshaishyami ma sucha. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you very much, everybody at home, for joining us for this beautiful evening satsang.